Hi, I'm DK Will, and this is DK. We'll talk about it.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
I'm going to talk a little bit about the Bitcoin ETFs, and you can see here on my channel page. Back when they were released, I produced a video, Bitcoin ETF, Make Your Money and Run. And it highlighted the fact that, just because there's Bitcoin on it doesn't mean it's going to be a success. And it threw out Dave Pena's proposal that it could possibly drop to 0 Bitcoin. I followed it up with, can a Bitcoin ETF fail? Tying it more into just the ETF financial instrument, a little bit more so than it being just a BTC ETF, in other words, a Bitcoin ETF, and the fact that ETFs themselves can fail. Then I followed it up. Bitcoin has to go gold since it fails to go green. Some of the points I made are ecological based, but definitely an agenda for the world financial markets to go green, to go net zero, to not waste energy, something that Bitcoin does a lot of. And then I followed that up with the fact that the Bitcoin ETF had been rejected by two very strong players who were Vanguard and Merrill Lynch. And so here's what I'd like to do with this video, and I hope I can do it quickly and easily, and it makes sense. I'm sitting here trying to make sure Bogey doesn't get loud, the parrot, get involved. But here's what I want to do. I want to continue to be what I think that I am. Okay, the train could. I am a paradigm whisperer. Now let me explain paradigms. A paradigm is your own personal perception. Okay, you will hear what I say, you will hear what others say, you will experience your life, and you will develop your own paradigm, your own perspective on how things are. The reason I say I'm a paradigm whisperer is because I know that there are many out there who are whispering to our paradigms, but they're lying. Now, I don't intentionally lie to you. I tell you the truth. And the truth is, as I mentioned before, I did some stay awake videos about Bitcoin. The fact that yes, they can fail. Yes, they've been rejected. Yes, they need to go gold because see, Bitcoin doesn't even do anything. It doesn't do anything. It's no different than a fiat currency. And that's just a fact. Here's another fact. Look what's happened to the price of the Bitcoin ETF. Look where it was on the 11th. It opened $27.94, had a high of $30 and a low of $26.28. Extremely high volume because so many people let their paradigms buy the hype. But if you invest it now, not only have you lost money, but keep in mind, investment, you can't be short term like this, but this is the reality. Because it could turn around and go the other way, which it very likely will do after they're done getting as much Bitcoin out of the common hand as they can. They have commandeered the cryptocurrency markets in order to be able to adopt it and charge you fees for buying it. Way back when I did a video about Coinbase charging fees, they're not going to sit back and watch Coinbase make all that money. And now the big boys have come in. I'm not saying that this ETF is going to fail. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is if you bought the hype and you're not a very more seasoned investor where you don't do the FOMO business, even if you had just listened and waited until now to buy into the trust, the BTC ETF, you'd have a better chance of winning because see, now it bounced. You see here, it bounced. Now, I don't know what it's going to do in the future, and I'm not purporting to know what it's going to do in the future, but what I do know and what I tried to tell you is make your money and run. Now, I'm not going to give a timeline, but not only is the Bitcoin ETF shares falling, pay attention here. Bitcoin itself has been falling. Because, see, that's what they did to folks. You see this? This red here? That's a month. It hasn't been out for a month. That's the 7-day. It was all designed to sell, to buy on the rumor and sell on the news for the smart players. But the minnows were sitting there chomping and salivating to get on board because fake ads like this one.
The QR code in the video's top right corner, scan it, and be directed to our official website for the address.
Yes, fake ads like that. And that's just a brief look at it. There's a few of them out there. Even somebody Yankovic from Solana or whatever. They are playing on the ignorance and the gullibility of those who buy into it. I even had a person make a comment to me on my videos about Bitcoin, said Michael Saylor will laugh at you. Probably because he's been watching those videos and believing Michael Saylor, but I responded with some, valuable information. I hope they looked at it to see that Michael Saylor is known for losing on Bitcoin, not winning. But even the internet community knows that those are scams. So frankly, I laugh at that person if they buy those ads and believe that they're going to get free Bitcoin, because even Michael Saylor himself is trying to remove those deep fake videos of himself. So when you buy into that, I need to be a sheep mentality, and of course Larry Fink and BlackRock won't hurt me. Of course, Michael Saylor wouldn't give me bad information. Of course, Sam Bankman-Fried really cares if I make money. I mean, wake up, people. Wake up. Now to wrap this up, I'm going to try to wrap up the point that, yeah, you should have just listened. Okay? All right, because here's the thing about it. In my paradigm, I'm not affected by this fake information. Quite honestly, even if this fake information were true, I would weigh the words in the situation first before I buy or bought into anything. And that's what I'm hoping everybody else does. So yes, Bitcoin released their ITF, and they have billion bucks, $1 billion assets under management in the first week of trading. They're the first spot Bitcoin ETF to reach $1 billion. So yes, they also have their media machine narrative working to convince you now of the value of Bitcoin. So they got investors now showing strong interest in their ETF, reflecting the growing demand for regulated. Are you seeing it, people? You're getting played. We're getting played, any of us who allow ourselves to buy into this. They have commandeered the Bitcoin market. Look at that, at a slight premium, 42% relative to Bitcoin spot price. In addition to their fees. And they have significant Bitcoin holdings. They're going to get their money out of their Bitcoin from you. Right there through that fund trading shares. And they're going to walk away unscathed while their friends that they rub elbows with at the yacht clubs get the scoop behind the scenes. Sell me your Bitcoin. I'll get rid of it for you. Sell me your Bitcoin. I'll unload it for you. Bitcoin's going to crash. We all know Dave Pena is right. There's a hope that Bitcoin goes up and becomes a store of value, but we don't know that for sure yet. Folks, you can see here, after the first week of trading, this article says who's winning and who's losing. I'm not really concerned about that because in my mind, everybody who bought in is losing currently. I'm not going to say it's permanently, but definitely currently, because the values are less than they were when you bought in at the beginning of this ETF release, and you got charged fees, which is what they wanted in the first place. They're going to make money no matter what. They're making money on fees, and like I said in the prior videos, they've transferred the risk and the ownership of the Bitcoin itself to you, the Bitcoin that's taking a dive in price currently. Now, this is just a reality, folks. When you don't know what you're doing and you buy into ads like the ones I've shown you. But you can see here, this article reads that BlackRock is leading inflows into spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds after about a week of trading, as investors weigh a group of similar ETFs that all launched on the same day. It goes on to say, the firm's iShares Bitcoin Trust has attracted more than $1 billion of inflows, he said, since it began trading on January 11th. Now stop for a moment and ask yourself a question. If there's such demand, $1 billion worth in just days, why did the price go down instead of up? Generally speaking, demand pushes prices up, does it not? So somebody must have been selling something. And I propose it was those who are in the know selling their Bitcoin to this firm so they can transfer the risk to you. But if they were charging 1.5% at $1 billion in that first week, that's $15 million just in fees alone. So that's why they can say we're excited to see the strong early demand for clients. Wouldn't you be if you can make $15 million a week for just transferring the ownership of something? Selling a exchange traded fund, quasi ownership of an asset. They're not alone. The Fidelity Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund has the next largest inflows, garnering more than 600 million. Here's the thing about it. They're all pretty much the same product, folks. The goal is to make money on the demise of something that never really had any value anyway. It was a pilot. It was a test market. It was to show that people are willing to accept and believe that you can pay up to $60,000 for a piece of software coin that you never even hold in your hand, and it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything except herd a bunch of sheeple while consuming too much energy. Stop, Bogey. Sorry for the parrot. Bitcoin was a pilot. It was a test flight. And just like they do with all test planes, they're prototypes. They're not the end product. Bitcoin is going to die unless Bitcoin can become grandfathered in out of honor, not out of utility or purpose, as digital gold, as a store of value, backroom inventory, diversified security, but not everyday frequent utility. It just eats too much energy and it doesn't do anything except provide a means by which those that have can strain and drain the pockets of those who do not have more and more and more. And the fact that YouTube allows these to AI-generated scam videos of Saylor and Garlinghouse and Chavanko or whatever his name is, and all these scams they allow, knowing they're scams to get your coins, shows it. So while Bitcoin is being sucked out of the people's pockets, wrapped up into a product that you're going to have to go to a financial advisor, institutional firm to do, so that you can pay them fees, so that they can get paid for the funeral, so that they can get paid for the funeral of Kodak, for the funeral of Nokia, for the funeral of Netscape, for the funeral of the pilot, the prototype, the Bitcoin. I'm DK Will. This is DK Will Talk About It. Hey, I've talked about it. Have a wonderful day.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.